win this, we go to nationals.
Human experiences are endless. From emotions to real-life situations, bring many feelings from somber to bliss, from enragement to serenity. These experiences shape our entire existence and make us who we are today, and also help us further understand the world in our lives. Adversity, in many forms, whether personal, societal, or external, tests our resilience, our strength, and our character. Adversity shapes people like no other. While it might bring pain, it might bring sorrow, might bring frustration or loss, it creates opportunity for growth. It forces us to adapt. It forces us to learn. It helps us find new paths to move forward when it feels like that isn't possible. Through adversity, it pushes to our full potential and sees the full capacity of our strengths, much like the show Blue Lock. Blue Lock is a soccer anime and manga that follows the story Yoichi Isagi, a high school student who plays for his school soccer team that have just missed out on the chance of nationals. Isagi's dreams feeling crushed. He gets the opportunity to participate in a brutal program designed to create Japan's finest striker. The series delves into themes of self-doubt, intense competition, and individualism as the players face not only physical challenges, but also psychological adversity, forcing them to confront their own weaknesses and ambitions in a high-stakes environment.
I stand for stopping the boats before they leave foreign shores.
We must stop the boats.
Refugees, asylum seekers, boat people. Issues that divide the nation. 6 Australians with strong views on the subject have accepted an invitation to take part in a life-changing experiment.
There's Africans everywhere. It's not an Aussie place anymore.
Undertake a dangerous refugee journey. In reverse are Ray Colby, Roderick Schneider, Raquel Moore, and Adam Hartup.
Millions of dollars on housing these criminals.
Overseeing this experiment is refugee expert and Melbourne academic, Dr. David Corlett.
More than 30 million people around the world have fled their homes. So what better way to understand the refugee experience than by living it?
Go Back to Where You Came From is a documentary-style series that follows individuals with strong anti-immigration views as they are placed in situations involving refugees and immigrants with the exploitation of social experiments. The show confronts their prejudices and challenges them to face the adversity and hardships immigrants experience, forcing a re-evaluation of their beliefs through personal, emotional, and often uncomfortable encounters. The overall purpose of the show is to highlight the broader issues relating to asylum seekers in contemporary Australian society. Blue Lock explores the theme of adversity head-on through the lens of physical athletes, and the drive for greatness is extremely emphasized by the representation of both ego and flow, which is quoted by the creator of Blue Lock.
Flow. It's a state of total mental immersion, acquired through one's own optimal experiences. Regardless of the scale of the activity, when humans have these moments, they're so focused they even forget the passage of time.
This is shown by the fact that every single participant of the 300 in Blue Lock believes that they can be the best soccer player in the history of soccer players. In contrast, Go Back to Where You Came From examines adversity through emotional turmoil and societal challenges, focusing on the personal struggles the participants confront, while exploring the realities of immigration. Yusuke Nomura is the illustrator of the Japanese manga and anime Blue Lock, which was written by Muneyuki Kaneshiro. The plot centers on Blue Lock, an intense soccer training program created to produce the finest striker in the world. The program chooses 300 of Japan's top young attackers to participate in a cruel series of tasks under the direction of the wacky and merciless coach Igo Jinpachi. The rest will be dismissed, leaving only one player to win the coveted position as Japan's future leader. Blue Lock quickly starts off in the center of what's most important, how people face adversity and swiftly turn that into a triumph. Adversity is a concept that is explored in the anime in a number of ways. During the first selection matches, Isagi and his team face other players who are all striving to prove themselves as the best striker. As the match progresses, Isagi begins to observe Naruhide's ability to read the game and make clever off-the-ball movements to find space and create attacking opportunities. In a pivotal moment, Isagi starts mimicking Naruhide's movements, moving intelligently off the ball, anticipating where he should be, and creating space for himself. In this scene, multiple techniques are used to emphasize Isagi's struggle with adversity and how he overcomes it. From visual contrasts and internal monologues to symbolic imagery and audio cues, the anime effectively conveys Isagi's growth is not just physical, but also psychological, as the anime uses narration to reveal Isagi's self-doubt and insecurities, while he tells himself he is less skilled than the other players. The intense non-diegetic music showcasing the severity of this match's result, and the player's fear of failure. The close-ups exploring Isagi's realization of what he needs to adapt to are all extremely vital in this scene for Isagi's growth. During the social experiment, all 6 participants are put into a refugee camp to live the refugee day-to-day life. During this, Adam has an emotional shift towards his feelings of refugees as he connects with this young boy who aspires to be a kickboxer. This aspiration showcases his dreams and ambitions even through such hardship for his situation. At first, Adam hesitates to approach the boy due to his previous prejudices he has carried. There is a noticeable internal struggle within Adam, and his heart fights against something he has been taught to fear or misunderstand. The boy shows warmth and a desire to connect regardless of his difficult circumstances. He is eager and curious to learn about Adam's life. This serves as a turning point for Adam, as this helps him see his opinion from a different perspective and begins to see the humanity in this young boy. Furthermore, all refugees. The boy represents hope, resilience, and human spirit, and Adam's connection with him serves as a symbol of personal growth through adversity. Go Back to Where You Came From explores a completely different aspect of adversity, as this series explores the face of racism in the perspective of privileged white people on immigrants and asylum seekers through a social experiment, showing how ignorant and clueless they all are to the absurdities of the dark side of the world where people experience the worst. The main purpose of the series was to shed light on the issues relating to asylum seekers in contemporary Australian society, but it also highlights the resilience, the survival instincts and strengths of individuals facing adversity in harsh, life-threatening circumstances. The participants' emotional journeys and the difficult realities they face are key in driving home the impact of adversity, emphasizing how experiences of struggle, displacement, and survival shape individuals and their views on the world. The show puts the participants in direct contact with the harsh realities faced by refugees, displaced people, and those affected by conflict. The show forces the Australians to be immersed in difficult, life-threatening environments to confront real-world struggles that many people around the globe face on a daily basis. The central focus of the show is on the adversity experienced by refugees and displaced people. They're exposed to physical and emotional hardship, such as dangerous locations or poor living conditions, limited resources, and just uncomfortable travel. This immersion in adversity, while temporary, allows them to understand what refugees experience. The daily facing hunger, disease, and even the constant threat of violence. The struggle to adapt and survive in these conditions allow them to gain a greater understanding and appreciation of the harsh realities faced by displaced people. Both Blue Lock and Go Back to Where You Came From examine human experiences in the fight against adversity in a variety of settings. Nonetheless, they are similar in how they depict how people react to obstacles and the change that results from facing challenging circumstances. Blue Lock's struggle is mostly physical and psychological, and it revolves on a competitive soccer training regimen. A total of 300 young gifted attackers are subjected to demanding competitive situations that are intended to challenge them. The challenge is about conquering personal limits, anxieties, and insecurities as much as it is about soccer abilities. The characters are forced to change their perspective, beliefs, and themselves, and attitudes towards competition and victory as a result of the internal struggle. The hardship in Go Back to Where You Came From is firmly anchored in the actual hardships faced by refugees, internally displaced persons, and residents of war-torn regions. The Australian volunteers encounter hardship by travelling to war-torn nations and directly witnessing the struggles of refugees. There is both physical, poor, hazardous living circumstances, migration, and mental, whether refugees' pain and loss, just hardships here. The program focuses on addressing the harsh realities of human suffering and surviving in harsh environments. In conclusion, through the use of demonstrating human experiences and the struggle with adversity, it allows the audience to be pulled in and experience what the characters and participants are going through, allowing people to see the message and have different views and understandings of the world.